She's the new female face of Lion Fight Promotions, but she's not new to the sport of Muay Thai. We'll have the story when we come back, so you better not go away. Thanks. Hey there, Must Love MMA fans, and welcome back. Today we're talking to Muay Thai fighter Crystal Lawson. Crystal, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So you've got a big fight coming up at the end of July, Lion Fight 44 as a matter of fact. Let's talk a little bit about how training camp is coming for you.
It's going awesome. I train year round, so this has just been a little bit of a switch over for me. I was doing MMA right before this. I started out doing Muay Thai, and then I couldn't find any Thai fights, and so I started MMA about a year ago, not like training it full time. And then I got the call for this, so now it's just straight back to Muay Thai, and it's been just so refreshing and good to be back to what I love doing.
Yeah, you have quite a history with Muay Thai. Let's talk a little bit about how you got involved in the sport.
Yeah, so I think probably back in 2007, I had watched a documentary, and so I went to school for cosmetology. I have my cosmetology license, I have my aesthetics license, I have multiple personal training certifications, and I'm just a person who's just very in tune with like my soul and like what makes me happy. And I just didn't feel fulfilled and happy, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? You know, like I worked at all the mills and I took pictures. I'm like this is not my destiny. You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't doing it for my heart, you know. And I watched a documentary one day, and I just remember watching it, and I was watching the girls like crawl on their elbows, and they're like hitting the bag, and their elbows are bleeding. And for some reason, I fell in love with it, and I was like, that's what I want to do. Like right then, like just something spoke to me, like that's what I want to do. So I called around different gyms, and the next day the gym started training. I had my first fight after 6 months, and I've just kind of been going ever since then.
Now, you are the new face for Lion Fight Promotions. Let's talk a little bit about how that all came about, because I saw you did a datecast thing, so you had to be watching one of the last Lion Fights, I think in Connecticut it was. Correct,
yeah, at Foxwood. So I've been trying to get on with Lion Fight for a while, but with my weight being pretty small, I fight at 108, 110, so for them to find me a fight, it's been kind of difficult matching me up with just my experience, my weight, just everything. So I got a message from Scott Zier, I would say, I guess it's been, several months ago now, and just said, hey, do you have time to chat this afternoon? I gave him a call, and he just, hey, we found a matchup for you July 21st. And I was like, okay, yeah, like, let's just take it. I don't care who it is. Like, it's opportunity no matter what. And he was like, well, is it okay if it's in France? And I was like, of course. Just funny because I was at my teammate's house at the time, and I had been talking, and I was like, man, like I feel like I'm not gonna find any fights, like I don't, I was at this really weird point where I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen next, and like literally when Scott called, like when I got the call, like I just dropped to my knees, and I was like, I can't believe like this is real and this is happening. So it was just like just a huge, I'm so excited about it.
Destiny, girl.
Yeah, I 100% believe in that. That's what I feel like I asked the universe for this, and I asked for so long, and I don't think that those times were right. And I had certain things had to take place in my life, but I feel like now is the right time. Like it couldn't happen until now.
Now, your fight takes place in France with the hometown favorite, Fanny Ramos. Mm-hmm. How do you think that's going to affect your game plan? Because sometimes the mental aspect of the whole fight is even more important than the physical training.
Yeah, for sure. So for me, it's more about, a lot of people I know are kind of freaking out, like, oh my gosh, this is in France, this is that. And I totally understand the capacity of this fight. I understand it's the first time Lion Fight's been over to France. And that it is a huge fight and a huge opportunity, but at the same time, at the end of the day, it is justified. Okay. I'm still going in the ring. I'm still fighting someone, the same as I would fight someone on the street or in my hometown or anywhere else. At the end of the day, it's two people. She has the same goal. I have the same goal. So I'm trying to not put like a lot of pressure on, hey, like this is her place or this is France. And for me, that works. For me, just kind of just being chill with it and doing like regular stuff and not just making it overbearing. To me, I perform better that way.
Actually, that's good advice for young female fighters, Muay Thai or bare knuckle or just about anything, as they're getting involved in the sport, to kind of just get in that Zen mode ahead of time, because it is a lot of pressure. You know, you're the face of Lion Fight promotions now. You're going over to France. By the way, have you ever been to France?
I haven't been to France. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm going to go a little early and kind of check it out. But obviously the focus will be on the fight. But that's one thing I've done a lot of my career is I've got to go. I've got to travel like all over the U.S. and I think I haven't like embraced some of the chances I got to. Like I went out to Vegas and I didn't even So I think with this, like I'm at a point in career and life and everything where it's like I have all these opportunities and I'm just embracing every minute of it, like everything. So.
How do you think you match up with your opponent stylistically? She's a pretty traditional Muay Thai fighter.
She's a traditional Thai fighter. She's a good fighter. She's very good at counterattack. So basically just impose my game plan. I obviously don't want to go in there and do what I know she's good at. I don't want to try to beat her at her own game. I want to go in and implement what I want to do, and that's the game plan right now, is just go in there and impose my will upon her until she breaks. So.
I grabbed some videos of you off Instagram and some of the other social media places like Twitter and Facebook. Your workouts look pretty intense. Take us through a typical training day for you.
So it varies from day to day, but for instance, like let's say Monday morning, I may wake up and do pad work at let's say 11. I'll take like a small break, maybe go run a few miles, and then I'll have pro practice from 3 until 4, which usually consists of, depending on the day of the week, light sparring, be harder sparring. And then in the evening, I'll have a break, and then in the evening I'll do something, whether it be something to do with conditioning or my strength training routine. So usually I'm training twice a day right now.
Wow.
I'll take like Saturdays off and just like let my body recuperate. Yesterday I did the body tempering at night, so that was, I feel I could hardly walk yesterday, but today I feel amazing. So.
Interesting. You know, you've got a child, but your child is more like a teenager now.
She's
but I think
like an adult.
How old is she?
She turns 18 tomorrow.
Oh, God bless. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
How was that like being a professional fighter and raising a child at the same time? Was it difficult for you?
You know, it's funny because, and this leeways into another thing. Her friend asked her the other day, she said, you know, what's it like living with a mom who's a fighter? And she was like, it's like living with my mom. But I think that, in ways it can be hard because like, she's always went to the gym and stuff with me like that. But I think the ways it can be hard is that there's sometimes when you do have to really focus on parent stuff. Maybe my mind is so focused, especially with this, like I need to be training and fighting, but then maybe you've got prom going on. So you have these two like parts, and you have to compartmentalize really well and realize like, hey, like even though I'm doing this, like this is still a priority. So you have to be selfish, but you have to be giving at the same time.
Do you find that there's a double standard because you're attractive, that people don't think somebody so attractive should be able to do such a rough sport? Because my parents are still trying to figure out, they think I just go to the gym and want to look at a bunch of naked men and maybe hot naked women. My father's like, what is up with that? You know, like, and I say to them all the time, the sport is about honor and integrity, hence the tagline, every fighter has a story. But I'm just curious if you've kind of come across that same kind of issue because you started so much earlier in martial arts and Muay Thai than I did. I've only been reporting a couple of years.
Mm-hmm. I feel like there's a lot of times when you walk into a gym, especially a new gym, it's almost, you have to gain respect more than a guy does, because guys, like you said, they do think that you're there for, hey, to look at the guys or not really learn. Because a lot of girls do that. A lot of girls go because there's hot guys there. I mean, let's face it, like, there's good-looking guys in gyms. They take care of themselves. So I think it takes, like, literally being in there and putting in the work and, like, grinding out before you have to earn that respect.
Good point.
And I think as far as the rest of the aspect goes, people do think that if you're more attractive, you get more opportunities, and I guess somewhat that's probably true. But I mean, I have had, even leading up to this, people say, almost kind of put aside what I've done and how many years I've put into the fact of, well, you know, that part of the reason you got this opportunity is because you're attractive, right? You know, so so there's always going to be people that say that. So I think, there's definitely always, especially with a more attractive female, is really having to prove yourself.
Yeah, I think it's a tough situation. It extends beyond, I think, martial arts. Sometimes people think the people who are popular in school really have a better life, and we always don't know that that's true, because we've seen that moving forward, that some people just never found their niche, and I'm glad you were able to find your niche, because it looks to me like you're going to go niche up, if that's a word or not. I don't know, but you're niched up, girl. Listen, I have been doing a lot of stories on this new sport, which is really an old sport, called Bareknuckle Boxing, Bareknuckle Fighting. Have you given any thought to maybe moving in that area? Did you watch any of the fights? They were fun for me.
I've watched the ones that were on, like, a while back.
Okay.
And it's funny because Scott Kent had actually messaged me when that one was on the other day.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'm watching this Bareknuckle Boxing. He was like, this is different. So I haven't really, given any thought to it right now with this opportunity. I'm literally just going to try to take this and run with it, and who knows where it's going to lead. So I'm, like I said, I'm trying to just embrace every second, from the preparation to the getting there, and what's going to happen after this, I don't know. Like, I hope to continue and be with Lion Fight and stay with them, and that's my goal.
You know, I scoured the internet for all these cool photos and pictures of all the fighters I interview, and I enjoyed, actually. So I found one of you rock climbing. It doesn't really sound to me like when you are off, you actually relax. Is there anything else you like to do besides rock climbing?
That was something that I did with some teammates. I went a couple of times. I am very, very active. Somebody said the other day, like, when do you rest? Because I think I came home from, like, a 3-hour practice. I was, like, going to try to fix my lawnmower or something, and somebody's like, can you just, like, sit down? I was like, I can't. But, yeah, so, you know, I like to, I play outside. I just got a puppy. I play with him. Me and my friends like to go a little adventure, because we're maybe just be like, hey, we're going to go somewhere today, and we'll maybe just take a road trip, or maybe try to find, like, haunted houses, or explore stuff like that. So that's the kind of stuff I enjoy.
It sounds like fun. Before we go today, is there anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. I just, like you said, think Scott Kent's deserved for this opportunity. I'm looking forward to it. I plan to go out here and give this everything I have, and just looking very forward to this and future with this company, and it's going to be awesome.
I'd also like to say thank you to Scott Zare, besides Scott Kent, because Scott Zare is an amazing PR guy, and he sets me up with all these interviews, and you guys always show up on time, and we always have a blast.
Yeah.
So big hugs out to Scott Zare, and a big hello to Scott at Lion Fight as well. All right, before we go, can you also give us all your social media handles so my Must Love MMA followers can follow you?
Yes, so on Facebook, it's Crystal Lawson, and then everything else, I don't tweet that much, but Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram are all Thai Box Bear, so THAI box, like a boxer, and then bear, like the animal. So all those are the same throughout.
Well, before we go, I'm just going to ask you, how did you get that name? Because it's really a unique nickname.
Honestly, my old coach, he just started calling me Bear one day, and it just stuck, and I was like, I guess bears, I like to take naps, too, whenever I can. So bears are kind of wild and rough, and they like to play and take naps. So like I said, I'm little, but I'm also rough and love to play around. So it literally stuck and never went away.
All right, Must Love MMA fans, before we go, you can find me on Twitter at Susan Cingari, on IG at Susan Cingari MMA, and on Facebook at Susan Cingari MLMMA. And I'd be really grateful if you subscribe below, and if you've got a question or a comment, you have a question for Crystal, we can bring her back on, you have a rant, you just want to say hey or nay, we do read those things here at Must Love MMA. And Crystal Lawson, thank you so much for taking the time to interview with me. I wish you good luck on your fight, and I'm really excited to see your next progression with Lion Fight.
Awesome. Thank you so much.